Hi guys, it's Steffi. Welcome back to my channel. Today I am doing a Top 5 Wednesday video, and if you are not familiar with Top 5 Wednesday, it is a Goodreads group and I'll leave the link down below if you would like to join in. It is hosted by Sam from Thoughts on Tomes, and I think it was created by Lainey from Ginger Reads Lainey, and occasionally I participate in the weekly challenges. This week's topic is Top 5 SFF Books on your TBR, and I believe it ties in with the BookTube SFF Awards book babbles, I think. As usual, I couldn't decide on just 5 books, so I've actually broken up into the top 5 science fiction books I have on my TBR as well as the top 5 fantasy books. And because I have so many books that I'm going to be showing you, I'm just going to hold them up and have a very brief reason why I've picked those. I'm going to start with the science fiction books on my TBR that I really want to read, and the first one is Starflight by Melissa Landers. I've heard nothing but good things about this one and I've been wanting to read it for a little while. Aside from the good things I heard, this was a cover buy and it's absolutely gorgeous, and I really want to read this book very, very soon. The next book I have is Arrival by Ted Chiang. Apologies if I pronounced that wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong, I believe this is a series of short stories, but I really want to read this because I want to watch the film, and I refuse to watch the film until I have read the story that goes along with it. The next one I have is Embassy Town by China Miéville, which I got in a blind date with a book package thing, so I'm very interested to try it out because if I like the concept of the blind date with a book, I might do it again. But this one sounded really interesting about humans colonizing a different planet and having a lot to do with language and communication and all that sort of thing, so I really want to read this one soon. The next one I want to read is The Three-Body Problem by, oh, I'm going to butcher this again. I tried to pronounce it when I purchased the book, but I think it's Cixin Liu and translated by Ken Liu. And this one I heard about from Sam from Thoughts on Tomes, and it sounded really interesting and I'm very curious to see. The last book on my sci-fi top 5 is Defy the Stars by Claudia Gray, which I picked up as a review copy, and I really want to read this. So this will probably be something that, probably the first one of the lot that I pick up to read so that I can do my review for it. And I don't know much about it at all except that it's by Claudia Gray, and I'm really enjoying Claudia Gray's books at the moment, and it has a gorgeous cover. Next up, I'm going to share my top 5 fantasy books that I want to get to as soon as possible because I would like to cut down my TBR. So this one is potentially cheating because it is 2 books, but it is The Magician's Land and The Magician King to finish off the Magician's trilogy. I read the first book and I was sort of on the fence about it. I started watching the TV show and I realised that the stories were sort of paralleling in the first season, so I have to read the books. I'm not going to watch any more of the TV series until I finish this series because I've heard it get better, which is a good thing. I also want to read Warbreaker by Brandon Sanderson. It is quite a thick book, and to be honest, I'm not so much for the epic fantasy stories anymore, but given that this one I believe is a standalone, correct me if I'm wrong down in the comments, I want to give this one a shot and see if I like his writing, and then maybe I might pick up some of his other books. But I really am not a big fan of committing to big, huge book series at the moment, especially fantasy ones that honestly require a lot more brain power than I probably have to dedicate to them. I also want to read Arcane, and I actually have the second book in this series and the third one's just been released, and this is by Lynette Noni, and it's written by an Australian author, so I think I should read it and see what it's all about. I also have Frog Kisser by Garth Nix, and this one just sounds really fun and cute, and you know, who doesn't love a weird twist on a fairy tale sort of story? And the last book, finally, we're at the end, is Strange to Dreamer by Laini Taylor. I quite like Laini Taylor's writing style, despite it being quite dense, and I've heard that this is quite dense and it's huge, but I am determined to read it and I will probably love it. It may take me a little while though because it is quite big, and like I said, I'm having concentration issues with huge books. So those are the 5 science fiction and 5 fantasy books that are on my TBR that I want to get to really, really soon. Let me know down in the comments what science fiction books or fantasy books are you trying to get to on your TBR as well. And don't forget, you can always join in the conversation in the Goodreads group as well. I hope that wherever you are in the world, you're having a wonderful day, and I'll catch you guys in my next video. Thanks for watching. Bye!